Harvey here with Harvey's ATV Parts. On today's video, I was going to show you guys how to install our primary clutch for your Polaris RZR Pro XP. So just to throw it out there was issues with the OEM primaries on the Pro XP, and there was a recall. So it's public as far as Polaris said there's a problem. They did something to fix it. We've heard that there are still some that did it after the recall. So for that reason, we've decided not to sell the original type of primary clutch that came on the Pro XP at this time. The one we're selling in the kit is actually the style that came on the 2016 to 2020. It kind of came down to like, hey, we've already got this really awesome clutch that we're selling for the other turbos, and it turned out it had the same taper and the same dimensional depth and everything dimensionally fit the Pro XP. It would bolt on, but just totally wrong weights and springs. So what it came down to was testing all different weights and springs of our own in my personal Pro XP, and that's what comes in the kit. We've got it dialed in. The primary is pretty much just as soon as you bolt it on, you're upgraded. It's already got the weights and springs for your Pro XP in it. The reason why I'm making this video is because our kit that this video is about utilizes your OEM Polaris secondary. So your OEM Polaris secondary, I mean, it's really a great clutch compared to the primary that came on, in my opinion. It's, primary was the thing we had to do first. There was, times 5 the issues on the primary side. So our kit using your secondary, the one thing that's critical is that you install that stiffer spring. And good news is it comes with the tool needed. It comes with the spring in our kit. So I'm about to show you how to put it on. Lastly was just getting the shims to get the belt straight in the primary so you don't have any scrub, and those are also included. So yeah, so bolt the primary on. We'll get to the order of it, but it'll be bolted on, doing 2 things to your secondary, getting our primary on there, and you will have a fully upgraded machine. So let's get to it. Thanks. So in the box, sorry, I've already cut the tape on it. You will have the thank you note from the Harveys, hopefully. This is the spring for the secondary clutch, OEM secondary clutch. And there will be some shims. They usually fall to the bottom, so. Come on out. All right, so there's the shims for your secondary. So this is everything secondary related to. This is all to install that. This is the last thing you do when you go to put it back on. That'll be coming up next. Last but not least, we have the new and improved MotherClutcher primary clutch. Oh, damn thing. There you go. Okay. Primary clutch. And 2 parts that go with it are this mounting bolt. So the mounting bolt that comes off is a Torx type, and this type of clutch doesn't use that. It uses the flange here, so you'll need to not use this until you go to install your new primary clutch. And then this is to remove your OEM primary clutch. So let's go ahead and get to that. Next coming up will be how to use this let's get the old stuff off of there. And we'll get on that now. 8mm on these. Let's go around if you got something electric or something air, something faster. Let's get this thing off. There's plenty of room to get it out once all the bolts are loose. It's pretty cool they made these where they don't slide all the way out and fall on the floor. So be ready to go back on no matter pretty much however you set it. First thing what you'll need on the primary first is a T60 torque bit, just a long enough extension to get out here somewhere. And I think this one originally somewhere, when you go to put ours back on, it's 96 foot-pounds. I think this one's similar ballpark as far as it's going to take, a good bit to get that Torx bolt out of there. So here we go on that. First bit I was tightening, damn it. Anyway, it's out now. As far as this primary does not come off the same way as any of the other players' primaries I could think of. What I mean is you don't just pull this bolt out. There's a black insert right here, and it has one rubber O-ring, and that's the only thing pressing it in right now. So I'm not going to actually do attempt one as much as I'm just going to show it. Attempt one, if your clutch is still in somewhat savable condition or you want to salvage it, is you get a rubber mallet. You can attempt putting one hand, pull straight towards you, other hand hitting it with the rubber mallet. It seems like that works about half the time. You know, if it's half the time I can get a good pull, put my weight into it, hit this a few times, top half comes off. If you want to salvage your clutch and the first one didn't work, then do it this way. This is guaranteed to work. Those are gonna fall everywhere. I mean, there's no way around it unless if somebody put a compression thing on it or something. I got a few of them, so. All right. This way is good just for me to show you what I'm actually talking about, where the O-ring's at and why the top half won't just slide right off without a little pressure. So hopefully these will go big enough. It's already spinning. I don't know if that phone won't zoom in enough, but it's already moving. So I'm just gonna kind of pull towards me and wiggle. There's some washers that are gonna fall off on the bottom. See if I can just do this with my hand. I don't even know if I needed the vice grip. No, it's turning with my hand. All right, so those washers on the bottom, I'm gonna try to catch them. All right, and mosquito. So there's a rubber, this bolt can go on and drop it. All right, there's a rubber O-ring right there. That's pretty much all that should be holding that whole top half of the clutch on once you remove that mounting bolt, of course. This is out, mounting bolt's out, and you can use the puller now, or you can use the puller with this off. The only thing that was, you have to do is you have to get this off to use the puller. The hole in it's too small, the puller won't go through it, so we can just go on and use the puller now. We're back on. I got the brand new HT puller from the new MotherClutcher box. So let's see if we can get this in there. Now that insert's not in the way. Let's hit the impact on it. That didn't take much. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and back that puller back out, and the primary will just be ready to basically just dangling on by the belt at this point. Why'd it go back? Alright. You can get it out of here with the belt, like if you just kind of get as close as you can and then angle it. Alright, old primary out of there. Alright. I had it in there loose, damn it. I could have. Like I said, I set everything back on here for display. It's all here. It's just I wasn't planning on running this OEM stuff again. It came. I just got a bunch of graffiti on mine, basically stuff I've been working on. So we'll get to this next, putting that spring in it. But for now, I just wanted to show this. Like I said, shortcut number 3. There'll be a bolt here, bolt here, bolt in here, and let me take this off and count them. So self-explanatory, I guess. Just follow the bolts that hold this. You can throw this and all the bolts out or save them for another time, whatever. Don't need them for our clutch. So right now everything's a blank canvas, really. It's ready to put the spring in that, add our shims to it, and then bolt on our primary. So let's let me pause this, get the phone over to where we're going to put in the spring in the secondary, and then I'll be right back. All right, now I've got the pieces assembled that make up this compression tool. So you thread in the rod. So you got the rod threads in. You got, in order, you have the nut, smaller washer, the plate for the vise, smaller washer, nut. So these are the same, you know, nut, washer, washer, nut. As long as this isn't going to come off here on the threads. I got this one flush-ish. Clutch slides down over that. The hole in the clutch is bigger, so it's not bothering it to go all the way down on there. And I use the bigger washer. There's two of them. I'm only using one. Got the bigger washer right here. You can put a smaller washer on it to help the nut. Kind of lock nut it, but I mean, I think it's fine. We got one thick one. Right here, you got an extra one. All right, so I'm gonna put this down. I'm staying like that, so pretend this is in the vise. And then we're gonna tighten this down enough to keep spring pressure. The ones here, looks like they're gonna be a 5/8. Yeah, I'm holding that. It seems like the impact is not trying to go anywhere. Make sure this is tight. Alright, this video is really running over a little bit. If you want to pause that, I'll be doing this for a minute here. Alright, down to the last couple threads on here. Alright, so nothing on this side. In order, we've got this with the lip facing down into the spring. I'm gonna face it up. What was I running? Looks like it's our finished spring. So yours isn't gonna look like this. I'd already got done prototyping and had our finished spring in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the fresh one in there, mine as well, right? But yours coming out will be the OEM. It won't be near this long, or nearly that heavy duty of the spring. Spring can go in either direction. It's got the, there's some secondaries have that little turn on the end where it locks into the helix. This isn't. It just sits in whatever direction. You do have to put this in directional with the lip facing into the spring. And just repeat the process. Basically, you get that washer on there, and you get this, probably 3/4 of the way down. And then once you start getting close, to slick through those holes and spin the helix as needed to line them up. When you get down not 80% of the way down, look through there, line up the holes, and just start crisscrossing them back down, and you'll be good to go on the secondary. I'll be right back to throw them on the actual machine. A real quick note, when I put that clutch back on, was this bolt at the end tried to come off. It was like I caught it when it was about right here. That would have been a lot of spring pressure, so I need to kind of retake what I said. It did come with an extra nut I hadn't used. So I think the best thing would either be to put a couple drops of thread locker under this one, or to get if you got enough room on your vise, get the extra nut and then butt it up to this one and turn them tighter towards each other, lock them together. That'll stick out a little further though, so it'd either be that or putting a couple drops of thread locker under this. Basically just throwing it out there so there's not a chance of this backing off while it's under pressure. All right, well, that's all. I'll put this inner with the new stiffer spring back on there first. Mine's probably got surface rust, so I'm gonna have to kind of walk it on. Don't think it's going all the way on. There it goes. Might as well check your rollers while you're in it. Make sure they're all round. So I could be getting a Scotch-Brite pad or something on that. I've been testing a lot of different belts. Looks like I had a belt that, nothing major, just some belt stuff. So let's go ahead and throw this one. But it could go on two different ways as far as the way the rollers line up. But then again, both halves are individually balanced from below, so it really shouldn't matter. I'm usually in the habit of doing that, but it's not. Some of the older clutches you had to, these newer ones are balanced individually, top and bottom. They sell the, that's one way to me to feel better about it. They sell the top half and bottom half individually, so So yeah, it shouldn't matter if it's on this way versus that way. So top half's on, bottom half, secondaries ready. I only had one shim in this one, so I'll be using that plus our little stack. And we've gone back and forth as far as the thickness on them. So some of our kits came with 5. I think some came with 7. But the total, you know, combined thickness of the shims was the same. So what included in our bag, in your kit, plus whatever you had on there, I only had one. So ours, you know, needs the additional amount in the bag on top of what you already had. That gets it 90% of the time. You know, I'll might do a video just on shimming some other time. But let's go ahead and put these on. You can just kind of rest these on the lip there. They sit about flush with ours. All the extra ones on there, it's almost flush. Secondary is about 40 foot-pounds, whereas the primary is close to 100. So, you know, just kind of keeping that in mind. That's plenty for the secondary. All right, got my OEM belt, whatever belt you want to use. Keep that plastics out of there. So you got extra room for our clutch. I'm gonna go ahead and hang this in position. By that, I mean I'm gonna walk you've got a threaded hole here. The other option is to go in your glove box. They've got them also on Amazon for $12. It's a little threaded hole here. And it uses an L-shaped tool. When it threads in that hole, it pushes on the back sheave and spreads that clutch open. So there's always that option. You know, it's a good option to have. Even if you're not going to use it now, you might need to change the belt on the trail, and that's the way to do it if you don't already have the primary off. But since the primary is off, I'm just going to throw it on there instead of getting that tool. But, all right, as I said earlier in the video, you will not be reusing your OEM bolt. You'll be using this one that came in the new kit. Now let me see if I can walk on that primary. Charlie horse, damn it. All right, my foot's spazzing out on me. So you get it on here, you kind of line it up. The back of it, that way you can feel it hook on the crankshaft, and then you just kind of rock it on there. That'd be the option if you're not going to pull out the secondary tool. It was a little tight, not too bad. If it was fighting you, just go on and go for that tool. You don't have to tighten it down much. I mean, once you feel it bottom out, each additional turn, it'll open up on that belt and give you a little more slack on that side if you needed it. And we are down to the bolt. If you're doing it by the book, our clutch calls for 96 foot-pounds. I had another video where you can see how to do that. There's different things you can do. You can run a bar through here up against something so it'll hold still, break after torque wrench, but like I said, I've gotten the habit of just impacting everything. This is a low profile bolt, so you will have to be careful on your 10 and on this. I haven't had, knock on wood, any bolts break off or strip in the crank or anything major like that, but we have rounded the heads on some, so that's what, you know, I'd say be the more common issues on using impacts. Hopefully it was helpful, and this RZR's ready to throw the cover on and ready to roll. But yeah, the only thing left is just throwing that cover back on. I think it's supposed to have a gasket down in here. Mine is missing, so gasket, plastic cover, and hose duct, and you'll be back to what you were, but stronger primary.